Welcome to my new series. Since Marvel started their series of shows on Disney Plus, I was thinking about reviewing them, but I never really wanted to get a chance to. I never got really a chance to do them, so I decided to do the What If series. So this is the new series coming to my channel, the What If series, and the first episode. The first episode is What If Captain Carter became the first Avenger. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of review, non-spoilers. Then once we get to a certain point, then there's gonna be spoilers. So you have been warned. You have no excuse. First of all, the way the show starts off, French kiss, amazing, love it already. And then the details and everything, the slight tweaks and twists of everything are completely amazing. It is gorgeous. You will love every bit of this. I will say it is animated, which I can completely understand why, because there's no point of getting some of these actors to sign up just to do like $15,000 worth of stunts and stuff, where you can just get it animated and it'd be cheaper. And plus, unfortunately, some of our actors are no longer here with us. So yeah. So, episode amazing, great twists, great tweaks, like I was saying, extremely dope. Go watch the first episode. But around now is your spoiler warning. This is what spoiler warning all day long. If you don't want this first episode ruined for you, leave now, because this is as far as it's gonna go. Okay, if you're still here, this is on you. So, first episode starts off almost the same. It shows pretty much, Nazis and Germany and stuff like that spreading. It's the World War. They're looking to make a new super soldier. They choose Steve Rogers, and Peggy Carter's there. So, the twist, that the little thing that shifted everything. So, in the movie, if you've seen Captain America, First Avenger, or whatever it's called, in the movie, it's a part where they asked Miss Carter to leave from the area where Steve is going to be injected with super soldier serum. In the movie, she leaves. In the series, she actually stays. And when she stays, she actually notices the Hydra agent who kills, what's his name? Something, I can't remember his name. But kills him and takes the serum and runs off. So, in this series, she actually notices the bombs, him triggering it, and everything. So, the character, was it Tommy Lee Jones? He's killed off. Like, he's shot and killed. So she runs after the guy. He runs up, grabs the serum. Steve actually hops out the machine to stop him and gets shot. So, that's the crazy part there. So, she kills the dude, the Hydra agent. He gets nowhere. So they're like, okay, Steve, get back in the machine. It's like he's bleeding out, so he actually can't handle the process because he's hurt. So they're yelling back and forth, like, start getting the machine. Start like, I don't want no parts. I press buttons. So Agent Carter grabs the last vial of serum, throws it in the machine. She's like, go, I'm going. So she jumps in. She's injected with the super soldier serum. She's the new super soldier. She's the latest super soldier. So that works, but the government wanted a dude to do it, pretty much, because back then it was sexism and stuff like that. Women didn't have, or at the time didn't have rights and stuff like that to the extreme. So she was just recuperating. Steve was recuperating, everything like that. And they were in the medical wing talking and stuff and saying, like, they were making hints to the movies, which is so beautiful. Because Steve was like, hey, at least, they didn't dress you up and ship you out in front of troops to do these little press releases and stuff like that. And she was like, wait. And I love it because it's a flashback to the movies, that they did that to Steve. So they came up with Stark, Carter, and the other guy, who I never really realized his name. I don't really care about him. Because they found out that, Hydra is actually looking for the Tesseract. And the dude was like, Miss Carter, you're lucky you're even here at the table talking. And it was mad rude and stuff. So he was like, I'm not sending in with troops over there. I'm not doing any of that. So she goes, gets a drink. Stark runs up on her. He's like, hey, that dude's a jackass. He's not smart, but I'm genius. So he slid her the uniform, which originally was going to be the press uniform that she was going to be using. Then he gave her the vibranium shield with a Great Britain logo on it. And they sneak out into the field. So when I say she is more efficient than Steve was, it's crazy. Like, it blowed my mind how efficient she was. Like, you can tell Steve had to learn his capabilities and stuff. But she was already, like, Steve didn't have the muscle mass and the strength and the endurance to actually go through and do the training that she already did to be a soldier. So the fact that she had a super soldier and already had training, she was way more efficient than Steve. She was just shocked at the capabilities that she could do with everything now. So she ambushes a Hydra escort, which was carrying, the Armanzola, if I remember his name correctly. She captures Armanzola. He was carrying the Tesseract. She runs through these people like no remorse whatsoever. So she brings the Tesseract in, gives it to the captain, and tells Stark, like, hey, Stark, you know what to do with the Tesseract. So then it cuts to, this is beautiful. This is straight beautiful, guys. So it cuts to Howard Stark, building a machine, and you don't even know what it is. And he's like, hey, man, you ready he's talking to Steve. He's like, hey, man, you ready to get back in the fight? So I forgot what else happened. Like, she got sent somewhere else. No, she was talking to Steve about where Bucky was. And they set up something where she would go free Bucky and everything like that. And they were talking and doing a little, banter back and forth, like, you owe me a dance and everything like that. So she goes in, clears the way, gets in, frees Bucky, and Bucky's like, who the hell are you? And she's like, I'm friends with Steve. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. So they get outside, and, tanks roll up and everything like that, start shooting at them. And she's like, we need backup. And it was like, this is Rogers. I'm your backup. And they were like, no, they said aerial support. And Rogers was like, I'm coming in hot. And they were like, what? What? How are you coming in hot? And he comes in with an Iron Man suit powered by the Tesseract. I was like, yo, yo, this is the best thing ever. So he comes in, the Iron Man suit is powered by the Tesseract, and it is just like laying waste to tanks and everything like that. And she's like, Steve, is that you? He's like, yeah, they gave me some bigger shoes to fill with so we can dance. And she was like, I guess it's time to two-step, I guess. It was like they proceed to lay waste to everything. Like, and it shows a montage of them, like, cutting, just going through the Hydra. Going through Hydra troops and planes and stuff like it's ease, like it's butter and a hot knife. Like, it was just amazing. So then it cuts to Red Skull, even though we don't know it's Red Skull at the time. Well, we do, but it is. And so the Führer is upset with him because he lost the Tesseract, this, and Red Skull's on the same shit Red Skull always is on. So he's like, look, I have no need to fear Führer. A god fears no man. And he was like, what are you talking about? Stop. Here's the dude, the messenger. And he was like, Hydra will reign supreme, and then Hydra, Hell Hydra, all that good stuff. Then it cuts to a mission where everyone's around the table. Bucky, the Howling Commandos, Steve, Sharon, Stark, and the other general. And they were talking about how the train was set up, was supposed to have Red Skull up there, and they were going to take him out and end the war. And the general said something, and she was like, sir, you're lucky to even be here at the table. And I was like, damn. But so they set up the thing, and it's literally like just tweaks from the movie. It's beautiful. It's great. So instead of them just ziplining onto the train going full speed, they had Steve in the Hydra Buster, Hydra Smasher armor. That's what they called it, I think. And he slowed the train down so they can actually get onto the train safely. And then another snippet, so Bucky slips, Captain Carter catches him, and he was like, nah, that's not happening. He was like, you almost tore my arm off. Another reference. Beautiful. So they're radioing this, Steve was like, hey, do you see Skull in there? And they were like, no. He was like, no, let me see. So he rips open the front, and it's like straight bombs everywhere. And he was like, yo, get out of here. And like they all like her, Carter, Bucky, and the Howard Commandos jump off the train as it explodes. They think they lost Steve. Like at this point, I was like, oh, he's gonna be the new Winter Soldier or some shit like that. But it cuts back to Carter, and you know the general's fussing, yada yada yada. He shouldn't have been killed in the first place. I thought the Hydra Smasher armor or the Hydra Destroyer armor, whatever it's called, is indestructible. Something like it was. So Carter was like, look, we're gonna do this one last mission. And she was like, I need some information though. So she like walks in on Zola, and he was like, Miss Carter, I knew you were coming to talk to me. I have nothing to say to you. Screen goes black. He told me everything. It was beautiful. It was great. So she goes into details, finds out where Red Skull is, all that above. Like, okay, we're gonna go in, destroy everything. We might not make it, but we're gonna end this war. They get in, they wreak havoc. They get to a break-off point, like you always do in the movies. And she was like, I'm gonna go high, you guys go low. She took her and Howard up to go see if they could stop. While that's happening, Red Skull had already activated the Tesseract and summoning something through the gate. Like open the gateway and summon something through. So Bucky and the Howard Commandos go down, and they see the Hydra Smasher or the Hydra Destroyer armor broke up. And next they see Steve, and they're like, oh, he's still alive and stuff like that. So they're like, they freed him. He was like, look, we need to jumpstart the suit. That way I can go help Peggy. And they jumpstart the suit. You know, the suit has limited power because the Tesseract has unlimited power, but his suit actually has limited power because it's not running by the Tesseract. So there's like, where's Peggy? He's like, she chose upstairs. So he jets upstairs. So then it cuts to Peggy and Howard walking in on the tentacle monster, which I thought was Shima-Gorath. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I thought this man had doomed the world completely. I don't know what creature it was. It wasn't Shima-Gorath, but I don't think it was anyway. But if they do say like, oh, it was Shima-Gorath, I'm gonna lose my shit. But it was some tentacle monster, and it came through and started tearing up stuff. And like they walk in, they were like, what the hell is this? And then Red Skull was like, you're too late, Captain Carter. The monster has been brought forth. Hydra room, snatch, crush, snatch through the portal. I was like, oh yeah, he's gone. So now Captain Carter and Howard Stark trying to find a way to keep the monster from destroying everything, because you know it's just still coming through. So she takes Howard, takes him to the panel, goes through. She's like starting like fighting the tentacles and everything like that. She gets thrown into a wall. She sees a sword, grabs it, and she starts slicing off tentacles and everything like that. So Howard reverses it where it's pulling back, but the monster like still has Peggy. She's being dragged in. Next you know, Steve comes through with the Hydra Smasher. I'm just calling it Hydra Smasher armor. Starts, you know, cutting off limbs and everything like that and all that. So the monster is starting to go in, but it's starting to pull back out as well, like the typical movie things it always does. So as Steve goes to like try to charge in, the suit completely dies. So he just falls flat. And she's like, well, I have to push it all the way through and get rid of it. So he's like, no, don't do it, you know. And he, you know, that's something like, you owe me a dance. And she was like, 7 o'clock sharp. And she pushes the monster back through the portal. Portal closes. Steve's just sitting there crying. War ended. Hydra's done. Yada, 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 yada. It cuts to the scene from Avengers, the first Avengers, where Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury and Hawkeye are standing testing the Tesseract. It opens a portal. Captain Carter hops out, sword and shield in hand. Like, first of all, tentacles come flying out like nothing had, like she just blooderized that thing. Then she comes out, holding the shield and sword in hand. Then you see Nick Fury's like, ma'am, please put the sword down. And she's like, no. And then Hawkeye was like, that's Captain Carter. like complete shock. And she was like, where's Steve Rogers? And Nick Fury does this like sigh. He's like, ma'am, the war is over. The war has been over for 70 years. And he asked like, how are you feeling? And this caught me off guard because In the movie, when Steve realized everything, he was like, I just missed the dad, so I missed the date or something like that. She was like, well, we won the war. And then that was it. And I was like, man, this show was crazy. Like the small tweaks and everything is great and dope. I'm happy I chose to review this series instead of everything else. Because like, I mean, everyone else was reviewing the WandaVision, the Loki, the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I love those shows. Those shows were great, but I'm so happy I chose to review the What If series. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for staying tuned. There's so many more episodes to come. I am jumping into this like religiously. I love it. Stay true, stay savage, people. I'm out.